review today, Staar. This is an excellent way to review. Hopefully you're doing these. The more you do them, the quicker you get. Hopefully you can knock this out pretty quick. If you need help, you can watch the video. If you got this on your own, just go through, solve it, get to submit it. Piece of cake. Okay, today we're going to work on Staar Review 15, and we're doing to the front, and a magical whiteboard appears, and let's start rocking and rolling. Oh. So remember, on the first three, we've been graphing lines all fall. Y'all should have this down now. So let's go through and do number one. Remember, we need this number and this number for our ordered pair. So let's get our x first. The x number's at 3. The opposite of a positive 3 is a negative 3. The opposite of a negative 1 is a positive 1. So that point has the line, doesn't it? And the slope is just 1 or 1 over 1. So I know that this line goes through negative 3, 1, and the slope is up 1 over 1. It's going to do this. I'm going to draw my line. And I'm going to put a 1 by it. And notice that this line has greater than, doesn't it? Which way is greater than on y? Greater than is up, so this line will be shaded up, won't it? Everything below that line won't work. Let's go to number 2. Number 2 is also, or x plus y is also, it's in standard, isn't it? Okay, so the x-intercept, negative 4 divided by 1 is negative 4. The y-intercept, negative 4. Remember, there's 1's in front of here. Negative 4 divided by 1 is negative 4. And the slope is negative a over b, or negative 1 over 1, or negative 1, right? Okay, so this line is going to go through the negative 4 and the negative 4, and the slope's going to be negative 1. It's going to go down 1, left 1 in it. So this line is going to look like this. Okay, notice our y is positive and the inequality is greater than, so this line is going to be shaded up. Okay? So far both lines are shaded up, aren't they? And the last one is going to be, okay, so number 3, we're going to graph 3 of these, okay? So we're going to graph x greater than negative 5. So on the x-axis at negative 5, I am going to draw a line going straight up like this. Okay, then I'm going to draw x equal 5. So I'm going to draw a line that goes to the 5, and it's going to look like this. And then I'm going to draw y less than or equal to 5, so it's going to look like this. And I think my inequalities are messed up, okay? Okay, so let's go through this. The intersection of line 1 and line 2 forms a right angle. Make sure I graph that right. Negative 3, 1. The slope's 1. That's right. Number 2. Negative 4. And the slope is negative 1. That's right. And then these are all right. Okay, they should have drawn a pentagon, but it's not. So we're going to, don't worry about number 5. We will omit 5 because the lines weren't graphed right, but we can do number 6. So number 6, this is line 1 and line 2. They cross right here, don't they? Which is negative 4, 0. And then the 0 of this, which is line 1, is negative 4, right? Which is the x-intercept, right? It's where it crosses the x-axis. Okay, sorry about that. It messed up. It should have drawn a pentagon. I should have rotated those, okay? Let's go to number 8. So number 8, we're going to solve this. We're going to distribute and then combine them. We're going to be doing this when we come back from Christmas. This should not be difficult. So we're going to bluebell chart the 2, and then we're going to bluebell chart the negative 4. When we do that, this one goes away, and we're just going to multiply. 2 times 5 is 10. The letter is x. The exponent's 2. Sign, number, letter. Exponent. A positive times a positive is a positive. 2 times 2 is 4. My letter is x. A positive times a negative is a negative. 2 times 4 is 8. A negative times a positive is a negative. My number is 4. X squared. A negative times a negative is a positive. 4 times 3 is 12. The letter is x. A negative times a positive is a negative. And 8 times 4 is 32. So we just did sign, number, letter 6 times, didn't we? Just multiply them out. Now that I'm going to group, I'm going to combine my x squares. I'm going to combine my x's, and I'm going to combine my constants. You're going to get something x squared, something x, and something. And I'm going to let you fill that out. I'm not going to eat all your Oreo cookies. Okay, let's continue on. Number 9. Okay? An easy way to do number 9 is to graph this. So you would graph, you would go menu 3, you would go to graph, and then menu 3-1, I think, and then you would type this into the calculator, and then hit Control T. And once you hit Control T, you slide up and down, and you find those answers, okay? To do this by hand, this is what you would plug in for y, and this is going to replace the x, the f of x, okay? And you would solve those by hand. So the quick way to do it is with the calculator, okay? If you don't have the calculator, you got to do it by hand. I'm going to do 2 of them by hand. So let's do the first one. F of 5 would equal to negative 4 times 5 plus 7. Negative 4 times 5 is negative 20. Negative 20 plus 7 is negative 13. And then on the next one, I'm going to replace the negative 3 with the f of x. So I'm going to get this. If I move over the 7, I get negative 10. Did I write that down right? Yep, and then negative 10 equals negative 4x. If I were to divide that, I would get 2.5. Or 5 over 2, okay? So that's how you're going to do that on the calculator. That would give you those answers. Let's go to number 10. Number 10, you are going to graph this. Okay, so you're going to go to your calculator, you're going to hit graph, you're going to hit menu, 3-1, hit enter, then type that in, and then hit Control T, and get your dominant range, okay? You would get your dominant range that way. Piece of cake. Continuing on, number 11. Number 11, we need to factor this. Y'all should start getting quicker with this, okay? So we're going to have 24x squared over 36x. We can divide both of these by 12, can't we? And an x. So 12x would be my GCF. That's what we're going to be doing in the spring when you come back from Christmas. So we're going to write down 12x, put a parentheses. Now then, I'm going to divide these by 12x. And we're going to get something minus something. And I'm going to let you figure that out. Basically, you are undoing the distributive property. Now let's go to number 12. Number 12, we're going to divide all the numbers by 6 and take an exponent of x away. So these have a 1 exponent. When you divide, you subtract the exponents. So 18 divided by 6 is 3. X cubed divided by x1, 3 minus 1 is 2. The next one, a negative divided by a positive is a negative. 54 divided by 6 is 9. X squared divided by x1, 2 minus 1 is 1, or just x. And lastly, a negative divided by a positive is a negative. 42 divided by 6 is 7. The x's would cancel out. This would be the answer. If I multiplied that by 6x, I would get my numerator, wouldn't I? Just like you do with numbers. Number 13, we're going to solve this for x, okay? This is the inverse of a function. You'll learn this in Algebra 2. We're going to get rid of the fraction of 3, so the 3 goes to the left and the 2 goes to the right data. Just like you do in when we did switching these to mx plus b. So we're going to get 3y plus 12 equals 2x minus 12. We don't want to solve for y, we want to solve for x. So I'm going to take this 12 and move it across. So plus 12, I'm going to end up with 3y plus 24 equals 2x. Then I'm just going to divide by 2. And I'm going to get 3 over 2y plus 12 equals x. Ding, 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 ding. So instead of solving for y, I'm solving for x. X can end up on the left or the right. Fun stuff. F-U-N, fun, fun, fun. Ho, 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 ho. Now then we're going to go to 14. Okay, we haven't done this in a while, but try to find your notes on transformations, okay? This is something that'll be on the start. We're going to look at this again before you take your test in the spring, but you got to remember what this stuff is. Remember, there's 4 things that can happen to the line. This is going to reflect. The 3 is going to vertical stretch, or that's going to be where the slope changes. It's going to vertical stretch or compress. This 5 is going to move it left or right. And the 7 is up or down. Okay? So the negative is going to reflect it. The number in front of the F vertically stretches or vertically compresses. The number inside of the parentheses moves it left or right. And the number at the end moves it up or down. That's basically your y-intercept. So let's start. That negative is going to reflect across x-axis. Okay, the 3 is going to increase the slope, which is a vertical stretch. So a vertical stretch of 3. If that 3 were smaller than 1, it would be a vertical compress. So it's either a vertical stretch or vertical press. Long time since we've done these. Remember, the 5 is the opposite. So what is the opposite of a positive 5? The opposite of positive 5 is a negative 5, which means we're going to translate left. So translate left 5 units. And then my y-intercept just goes up or down. So this is going to be translate down 7 units. Ho, 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 ho. Fun stuff. You might see this on your exam. Okay? You might see this on your exam. Just got to know what each piece does. Let's go to 15. Oh, on 15, we're going to grab both of these and we are going to solve them. Let's do this with more power. We're going to do this with the intercepts, okay? This will be a little bit quicker. Okay, so let's write down x equal and y equal. So my x-intercept is going to be negative 4 divided by 1 in it, which is negative 4. My y-intercept will be negative 4 divided by negative 2, which is a positive 2 in it. So I'm going to put a dot on the x-axis at negative 4, a dot on the y-axis at 2, and notice I would go up 1, right 2, which is my slope, and this is going to be a dashed line. Okay? So make this dashed. Now then notice the y is negative in it. So the inequality will be flipped, right? So this greater than will turn to a less than, which means this line will be shaded down on it. Just remember that. If you have standard equation, if the y is negative, the inequality flips. Now then let's go to the next one. So we have x equal, y equal. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So on the x-axis at 2, on the y-axis at 3, and my slope would be negative 3 over 2, which is what this is happening, right? So let's go down 3 over 2, down 3 over 2, up 3 over 2, and this will be a solid line. Let me do it in a different color. And the y is positive, so this line will be shaded down. Okay, now then let's do the parts. So we have part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. The red line is shaded down, and that's going to eliminate part 3 and part 2 in it. The green line is shaded down, which eliminates part 1, so the only thing left is part 4 in it. Okay, so all of the ordered pairs in part 4 will make that line work. And lastly, we're on the last problem. You've been getting the slope all year. You should be getting good at this, okay? So you're going to underline function of, and dollars is a function of gizzards, so y and x, right? And I would use this one and this one because they're whole numbers, aren't they? So we're going to do y minus y over x minus x, draw your fraction bar, 15 minus 3 over 20 minus 4, and that would be 12 over 16, which is 0.75, right? Okay, so you're going to get 0.75, and it's going to be $0.75 per gizzard, right? And it would, you're going to have to divide on this and see if it has direct variation. So what you want to do is go straight down and divide. This would do 3 divided by, if you do y divided by x, 3 divided by 4 would be 0.75. And do that on all of them. Divide all of them and see what you get. If it's the same answer, it will have direct variation. Also remember, if you cross multiply and they're equal, it has direct variation because it's proportional. It'll let you fill that in. I hope you have had a blast today. We're going to continue doing these Staar reviews. Thought this would be real simple to finish out the semester. You're just reviewing what we've done. We're only doing one page. So about 30 minutes of work each day. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Remember, you are amazing. You are created to do wonderful things, and you are awesome.